Hello everybody, Northwest Saws here, and I've got a very special McCulloch chainsaw on the bench today. This is a Model 47. It was manufactured from 1953 to 1955, rated at about 77 cc's, and this is a gear drive. You can see the transmission right here, and there is still actually some fluid in there. You could kind of see it a little bit there, not much, but the fluid that is in there is very clean. In fact, for the most part, this saw wasn't too terribly dirty when I picked it up. I have done a little bit of cleaning. The handlebar is still in pretty good shape. Most of the paint's worn off of the starter, and this has got the steel cable on it. There's some good rot going on to the base of this handle, but that's not a big deal. I've got another one that I could throw on here. There's a carburetor, sediment bowl, and there's actually some fluid in there. It's some pretty nasty gas. I've already got to work on the tank. It's pretty much done. And I took this thing completely apart, cleaned it out. It is very clean now, but was super nasty when I got it. Some of the most foul, stale gas you can imagine in there. Almost kind of looked like chocolate milk. You can see most of the paint's gone off of this as well, plus the old logo. And here's the fuel pump and the primer. I managed to score a new set of gaskets and a diaphragm for the pump and a new gasket for the primer. However, I used a little bit of Durco on these anyways because of, you can kind of see it right here if my camera will focus, some pitting. It's a very small amount, but some rot nonetheless. Not too terribly surprising. And pretty much every single old saw that I've come across has got some kind of rot going on. If you don't have any rot, that's incredible. But you can see I've got the piston and the cylinder off, and the reason for that is this. The saw turned over freely, however, this piston is trashed. There's a lot of damage here, a lot of... Oh yeah, there we go. Thank you, camera, for focusing, finally. It's too bad because the rest of this piston is in pretty fair shape. Not much carbon buildup on top, but this is no good. We can't use that. But there's some good news, because we've got, voila, a replacement. Not only a replacement, not only is it new, but this is a larger piston. This is 0.020 inches over, paired with our bored cylinder. And this is in pretty good shape. Got a little bit of carbon buildup to clean off of the exhaust here. But all in all, the cylinder is pretty clean, and it's after it was bored, it was greased up. You can see some of the old grease still left in there that I've got to clean out. It was bored, greased, and then put away for I don't know how many years, but it's probably been a long time. You can see here the 020 indentation, indicating that it's been bored over. I haven't been able to find much information on the original owner and the guy who had this done. But at some point, a fella took this into an old McCulloch dealership, had him bore it over, matched it with the appropriate oversized piston, and then put it in a box, just never got to it. And so we're going to take this cylinder and this piston and put it on. After which, start getting everything else put on here and get the gas tank on. We got to take that carburetor off as well and clean it out. I've also got a ignition chip ordered. It's in the mail as we speak, to replace the points and condenser here. As you can see, there's a fair amount of corrosion that's gotten in here. The points are pretty nasty, and it's pretty fair, but that I haven't tested it yet, but that condenser is probably junk. So we're going to replace them with a chip, and that should solve our ignition problem because it was not getting sparked before, and the coil also had some dry rot to it as well, but that's not a big deal because we've got a replacement for that as well. On top of the muffler, the old muffler had a chunk taken out of the cover of it, so it was trash. This is all that remains of it. This back isn't too bad. However, I found this replacement. Got a little bit of rust on the top there, but otherwise, it's a nice one. Really nice one. Not much in the way of wear. Still pretty shiny. So, we do a little bit more cleaning on this. Get our surfaces prepped here. Clean the grease out of this cylinder. And after that, I am very confident we are going to have a running Model 47. So stay tuned.